Okay, so very exciting to have try new technology here with a guest. I've got Katie Phillips here from Idealo, who is you're the marketing and comms director.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and we're going to have a chat about the company Idealo and what you can bring to this very exciting time, because it's just about to be Black Friday. The biggest shopping weekend of the year, and Idealo is this it's not a new concept of a website. It's been around for a while, but it's a really helpful website to help you save lots of money in this big shopping weekend. So tell us about Idealo and what it actually does and how it can help the listeners.
So Idealo is a price comparison website, and I think when we think of price comparison, we often associate that with maybe home insurance or your energy price comparison. Lots of people don't realise or maybe don't think of comparing prices when they shop for things. So when you're shopping online for things, I mean, we compare prices on a huge range of stuff. A lot of the time it's things like home appliances. So if you're shopping for a new washing machine, you can save a lot of money. But also things like new trainers for your kids, or like tech things as well, like smartphones, tablets. So it's actually a really broad range of stuff where you can compare prices online. You'll see the prices from all the different shops, and you'll be then able to make the decision, okay, I think I want to go with that shop, and be able to find the best price. So it's really important, as you mentioned, this time of year, because as you say, we're coming up to Black Friday, everyone's looking for a good deal. But I think the thing to remember is that these deals are actually available year round. It's just doing that research and kind of not going with the first price you see, but rather, okay, I found an item I want to buy. Perhaps, maybe I'll look around and see, is it being offered cheaper anywhere else? Or you might just, I like this shop, I know they've got good customer service, it might be a couple of pounds more, I'm going to go with that one. But it's just about giving the power back to the consumer to say, I know what all the prices are, I'm going to go with that one.
Yeah.
So that's the concept behind the company and what we do.
Yeah, because I think you're right. We're quite used to comparing things like insurance and, well, I say we're quite used to, maybe that's just in my world. Like energy.
People do, yeah.
Yeah, but yesterday I needed to buy some hype clothes, so I probably could have searched for a hype hoodie for my son on your website, and found probably a much cheaper price than I actually paid for it. But I just wouldn't think to compare the price for things.
I mean, it sort of depends. Obviously, we only compare like for like, so it does need to be a branded item. So, you know, it would be potentially a hype hoodie, or a Bosch washing machine or something like that, because you need to be comparing like for like. So things like, you can't compare prices on a sofa, for example, most of the time, because they don't tend to be branded and offered by different shops. So you need to look at which products they are. But there's just so many things that people can save money on that I think at the moment they're not saving money on. So that's the message we're trying to get out.
And I think the other thing to point out to people for on Black Friday as well is just to, and why it's almost even more important to use a comparison website like yourself, is the headline offer that they're putting out there, whoever that may be, Amazon or whatever, it's not necessarily the best price out there. I've worked in retail for a lot of my employed life, and there are these sneaky rules of how you sort of show promotions, isn't it? So you only have to have an item priced at a full price in, it's something like 1/10 of your retail shops, 30 days in a row, 30 days ago. It's really a really strange anomaly, isn't it, where you can suddenly claim save 75% on a
there's lots of little tricks that retailers can use, which I think is just even more important then for shoppers to be able to go, actually, I've looked and I've seen that the price last week was this much and 2 weeks ago it was this much. We've got it's a price tracker.
That's clever.
So on each of the products, you would say you're searching for a new smartphone, you go onto the Apple iPhone 11, obviously that's a new one that's come out, so the prices probably haven't changed much, but on each product you can go on and have a look, and it's in the top right hand corner on the website. We've also got it on the app version. And you can just look back over the last 365 days and see exactly what the average price was on each of those days. So it means that you can look and go, especially around Black Friday, and go, oh, actually, back in September, it was even cheaper than this. They're claiming that's a good price, but it's not. And then that kind of gives you the power to say, oh, maybe I'll wait because maybe the price will come down again. So it sort of gives you back that power to say, actually, I think I can get a better price than that. And what you can also then do is set a price alert. So you can say, for that, I want to pay £65 and no more. You can put that price in, and then if and when that price then drops to your budget, you'll get a notification from Idealo, either on the smartphone or by email, and they'll say right away, it's dropped to your price, action now kind of thing. And you can say, oh, actually, I've decided against it, or oh, I'm going to jump on that deal so you don't miss it. So just two really handy tools, especially around Black Friday, that give consumers a bit more choice and a bit more knowledge.
Yeah, I'm all about any kind of service or app that gives you more control over that saves you time. So this is saving you time shopping around and gives you control over getting the best prices.
Definitely.
Really, really great. So what do you think? Right, so first question I've got then is about the high street and what's sort of happening at the moment, and so the it's almost like the demise of bigger shops like Debenhams is in a lot of trouble, and I won't mention other brands that I've heard about are in trouble, but a lot of the bigger sort of department stores are in sort of financial trouble. So can you see that impacting in your sort of price comparisons? Can you see prices falling down on some of the big ticket items?
So obviously we list prices from lots of different shops, and depending on the product depends on how many different offers we get in from those shops. We have a system where we partner with shops in order to show their prices. And I think that has had an effect in that you've seen some prices dropping. But I think also because of, I don't want to mention it, but the Brexit word, because of Brexit, everything's very volatile at the moment. We're seeing prices really change. So I think the combination of Brexit and the high street, and probably the effect that Brexit is having on the demise of the high street, it is causing some very volatile price changes at the moment, which is probably another reason to right now be even more cautious when you're buying something, be that online or in the shops. Because I mean, I think it's good to have a combination, a balance of both, isn't it? That no one wants to highlight the high street to disappear. So it's good to keep a balance of both and keep an eye on how much something is online, but also support those smaller retailers. That's also something that we do, that we sort of pride ourselves on, that we list the prices from the big boys, Amazon and eBay and all those, as well as, British shops like John Lewis, but also then smaller retailers that otherwise might not get that audience. We list them alongside each other, and
that's really good.
Keep this price first. So if you've got a small retailer that said, oh, actually, I can undercut big boy John Lewis on this, then they'll be listed right at the top, which is a kind of platform that they otherwise don't get. So we like to think that we're supporting smaller retailers at the same time as giving people that breadth of choice of prices. So it is a worrying time for the high street, but I think consumers can sort of do their bit by keeping a balance of both.
Yeah, and I think it's those retailers that are setting themselves aside from everybody else who are gonna prosper and carry on doing really well. I think I know I do a little bit of work with John Lewis, and what they're trying to do is focus on all these events to sort of give customers like free exciting events that bring them into store to get them to spend. So it's something that's quite different, but
like an experience almost.
Yeah, exactly. Making it in my local one, they've just introduced this new what they called it, like a style studio, where it's like a separate area of the shop where you can go and be see a stylist, and that doesn't cost any money. Obviously you spend money on the clothes that you buy, but it's all about the experience and differentiating
I think
themselves.
That's great, isn't it, when a retailer can sort of go above and beyond and offer something extra, and then you're getting that extra value there that you think, oh yeah, I'm going to
Yeah, yeah, no, exactly. So what do you think then, the big question, what are the things that people are searching for at the moment for, so I'm assuming that the things that people are searching for now are what they're going to be intending to buy for Christmas. What are maybe start with children. What are the big things that children are looking for?
So, I mean,
Or
we're seeing
as a
lots of
gift, not what
movement,
children are looking for.
as in what parents are probably buying for their
Yeah,
kids.
yeah,
So we're seeing obviously still a lot of digital toys. You know, like it's
yeah,
not so much the kind of like sort of old-fashioned wooden toys where parents might hope their kids are wanting. They are sort of moving towards the kind of digital screens, video games. So video games particularly. But we also see a bit of a kind of move towards like coding toys. So like things that parents are trying to get their kids into coding and IT from a younger age. There was one, I think a year or so ago, which was VTech brought out, I think they called it the Coder Pillar or something like that.
yeah,
And things like that are definitely gaining in popularity. So I think parents are probably seeing what their kids are interested in and trying to kind of steer them in a direction of like, oh well, they can learn something from this. So there's definitely a positive side to the fact that kids are less interested in non-digital toys. But also there's been quite a lot of interest in these, also I guess they're electronic but they're not necessarily digital, toys. They're sort of soft toys, but they move and do things, and you can also teach them things, so that's got that kind of coding aspect to it. I think
yeah,
last year the big one was the roaring tiger, so we're expecting those to be quite big again this year for Christmas.
yeah, yeah,
Children.
yeah. And what about for grown-ups? What are we looking for?
So I think,
Phones, I suppose.
yeah, so tech and things are always one of the biggest things for us. People, if people are going to compare prices, they quite often do it on tech items because they might
Yeah,
think, well, I could get a better deal on that. Particularly last year, we saw the Apple AirPods. They were really popular, and they actually continue to be really popular. So I think they'll
yeah,
carry on being one of the top sellers this Christmas. And I think as you walk around,
yeah,
you see more and more people with them, and it's
yeah,
kind of, first it was quite a strange thing to see someone with those little white things in their ears, but now it's almost got like, well, you don't think of it anymore. So I think that you're kind of seeing that in society as well, that people are really interested in that kind of
yeah,
wireless technology. So I
yeah,
think tech for adults particularly.
yeah. And is Black Friday for you? Is that when you see your highest peaks of traffic?
Yeah, definitely. So I think you've got some people who know about price comparison for shopping, and then you've got some people who hear about price comparison for shopping around Black Friday, and that then all culminates on Black Friday that we do see more people comparing prices. But I still think there's a huge chunk of the population that doesn't know about it, and
Yeah,
they're just sort of buying without thinking, oh, I've just seen this really good deal on Facebook, I'm just going to buy it. But a quick check on your phone could say, oh, actually, this shop's got it even cheaper, because we update our prices. Well, it's not in real time, it's every 30 minutes, but it's
right.
very, very quickly updated. So
Yeah,
Black Friday, it's really worth to just have a quick look. And again, those price alerts are really handy for Black Friday, because you can, if you've got something in mind, like you think, oh, I want to get those AirPods, I'm going to wait till Black Friday to see if it's a good deal, you could set a price alert now, and then you've got that kind of on the back burner, and then if you see a good deal on Black Friday, you can still check. So that's
yeah,
sort of advice for people on Black Friday, to sort of get prepared early and don't go
yeah,
for those kind of like spontaneous deals where you think, oh, I'd quite like that. It's more sort of planning in advance, and then you can
yeah.
save more money.
Yeah, yeah, literally write a list, pop it into your website so you can get the alerts, and then just
Yeah,
watch the price flow. Yeah, no,
yeah,
but it's like with any sort of financial management. I think planning ahead really
yeah,
means you're going to save money in the long run. And the other thing I just wanted to say
definitely.
was, so this could result in whatever 10, 20, 50 pounds worth of savings for like 5 minutes worth of work.
Definitely,
So
yeah.
it's such a great amount of money to save, isn't it, for a tiny bit of time? So yeah,
It's so worth it. You can also sort of save favorites in the app, so it can be even quicker than 5 minutes. You can have like a literally quick, like 2 minute check done.
yeah.
So yeah, it's really worth it. And we did some research actually about how much people can save in different categories. So
Oh yeah.
we've got like a sort of wide product catalogue, and we had a look at what are the potential savings in certain categories, and it really varies because obviously if you've got fairly low price products, so like small children's toys, the savings there are less. Like the baby toys, for example, I've got it all written down here. The potential saving there is only around £6. So you might sort of think, well, okay, it's not so worth it. Although I guess if you're buying several baby toys for Christmas or something, those savings all add up. But on something like coffee machines, we saw that the potential average saving was about £61, which
Wow.
is huge. It's like you might see a deal and think, oh, that looks like a good deal, and then buy it, and then you're going to kick yourself later if you realise that the shop's got it for £60 or up to £60 less. So it's not that you're always going to see that big a saving, but it really can be as much as that, or in certain categories even more. So it's just really worth sort of having a look around.
Yeah, no, absolutely, always worth looking around to save some money. So what is so you've got your sort of existing model. What do you think is the future of Idealo, and are you going to move into sort of other areas of comparison?
So we also do flight comparison.
I saw that.
Yeah, so we do that as well. But that's also not necessarily a new thing for us. We've had those channels running parallel for a few years now. In fact, Idealo's been going since 2000, and we're actually based in Germany. And so we've got price comparison all across Europe. So it's also kind of interesting for us because it means that we've got those kind of European data where we can compare one country with another, which gives some really interesting insights sometimes. But going forward, we don't have plans to change the model as such, because we think it works. The idea behind it is, give the consumer as much information, so all the product information they need, all the specifications of that tumble dryer, along with all of the prices available. And it's it's quite a simple model, but it gives the consumer all the information they need. Going forward for us, the most important thing is making sure that we stay up to date with technology, so that people are looking on their smartphones, people are looking on their smart watches. So making sure that notifications are kind of available to people in any way that they want. And probably looking into things like voice search as well. And then one other thing that's a really big topic for us at the moment is sustainability. So obviously everyone's talking about climate, and that's something that our CEO particularly, he's really keen that as a company we act there, because I think you see a lot of business kind of turning a blind eye to what's going on with the climate, and we know that as an e-commerce company we're not completely sort of unguilty. What's the word for unguilty? Innocent. We're not completely innocent in that, but we want to do as much as we can to try and help the climate, because everyone needs to act. So that's something that's going to be a big topic for us going forward. That what can we do as a company in order to try and improve the situation that the climate's in at the moment. So
yeah, I've on that note, I've taken a decision which is proving quite troublesome in my life from ease point of view, but I'm boycotting Amazon. Because well, as you all probably know, they're not very good to work with on a sort of business point of view, let alone what they've done to the environment. But I did an interview on BBC News talking about fast fashion, and I was with an MP who was trying to put this fast fashion bill through to just make a load of simple changes to UK fashion businesses to try and reduce the huge impact of fast fashion. And we were talking about the good retailers and the bad retailers, and she told me about Amazon digging a big hole in France and pouring a load of TVs into that big hole and setting fire to them because they'd overbought a product line. And it was almost like, and she was a very reliable source because she was an MD. But that was almost like the last straw where I just knew they were doing a lot of stuff. They weren't treating their working partners very well. So I thought, right, that's it. So I think there's a movement to, it's making decisions about who you choose to work with and making sure that everybody's got those sustainable environmental policies.
And hopefully that will be the push that lots of companies need to say, actually, that's not an okay way to do business, and we're gonna improve our conditions, we're gonna improve our impact on the environment. So that's sort of what we're hoping to do, that we can kind of pioneer a way of companies saying we're actually going to take action as well. Our CEO announced last week that he's going to offset the CO2 footprint of each employee here. So we're a climate neutral company, and we only use green energy sources. But obviously, each employee, that we've got around 900 employees, each employee has got a carbon footprint. And he's decided that as a company, they're going to offset our carbon footprint for the next year. And then as of 2020, they're going to offset 50% of it, just as almost a kind of push to say, you know, this is something that you could also consider doing yourself. So I hope that things like that might reach other companies and then say, actually, that's really cool that they're doing that. Maybe we should consider what we can do. And it's that, you know, as one company, we're not going to make a huge difference. But if other companies then say, oh, what can we do? It might just set off a chain of, you know, events. And there are other companies that are already also doing great things. But hopefully, as a critical mass, then we can make a bigger change. Because of course, online shopping does have an impact on the environment. So people aren't going to stop online shopping. So it's a way of how can we balance people online shopping, the convenience of it, the good value you can get from it, with the impact on the environment. And it's sort of, how can we have both? Make the best of it.
Yeah, cool. Okay, wonderful. So for my last question then, are you okay if I ask you a personal question about you? And because it's a question I ask of everybody, and it's always really interesting what people answer, which is what, from you as Katie Phillips, what's your biggest financial success, and what's your biggest financial mistake? Because I write about money saving from a short term all the way through to long term point of view. What have you done which has made a difference in your life?
Okay, financial success. Oh, I don't know if I am very financially successful. And I remember, okay, this is probably small fry. When I was at university, it snowed really heavily one day. And I went to university in Manchester, so it rained a lot anyway, but it snowed really heavily this day. And I was walking along and I found a £20 note in the snow, and I was like, whoa. And now we think that wasn't a huge windfall. But at the time, I think, like, my student loan,
when you're a student,
and you know, really quick, I was like, do I hand this in? I don't know where to hand it in. So I think that was probably my biggest. I can't think of anything else particularly amazing that I've done financially, but that was probably an exciting time. At the time, quite good.
What about, have you got any big learnings that you've done that you maybe wouldn't do again?
So I live in Germany because Idealo is actually all based in Germany. And the German banking system is very, very different to the UK banking system. And I think people have got a kind of preconception of Germany as a very efficient country and everything works very well. Well, banking does not. It's the most backward banking system in the whole of the world, I think. Well, probably not, but anyway. So here you pay for your bank account. There's very few free bank accounts, so that's kind of already, I've been here 8 years, so that's already probably quite a big chunk of money that I could have saved. There are certain free online bank accounts, but for me, I still sometimes like the convenience of being able to go into the branch. So that's around €3 a month, which when you add it up over 8 years is not the best financial decision. And I also realised belatedly that my bank has been charging me an annual fee for using the contactless function on my card. And I was livid. I was
Oh my
absolutely
God.
livid. So I went in there and I said to them, because the thing is, when I signed up for the bank account, it said it comes with a debit card, and I thought, great. And that was included in the monthly fee. And I went in there and said, look, I signed this contract which said it includes a card. Yes, but you wanted to use the contactless function, that costs more. So
Wow.
I'm going to leave them now, but I haven't actually done it yet. So that's probably my biggest financial fail or learning, that when you realise something.
You know the fintech banks over here in the UK, like Starling and Monzo, are they over in Germany as well?
No, we haven't got Starling and Monzo as far as I'm aware. We've got one called N26. I don't know if
Yeah.
they're in the UK.
Yeah, no, I know N26 really well because I've done some work with them actually.
Oh, okay.
So that's when you said you pay for your account. That's almost like the model N26 is going down in the UK. You pay a monthly membership and you get certain but you get certain benefits to go with it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, we've got N26. A lot of my friends in the UK are using Monzo and Starling, and I'm sort of waiting for them to come to Germany, because N26, I really considered them for a while, but they've got restrictions on how many cash withdrawals you can do a month.
Right.
And Germany is also quite strange, or Berlin in particular, because it's a very cash society. There's lots of places you can't pay on card.
Right.
So, for example, the Underground network only recently started accepting credit cards on the machine. And in lots of restaurants, I mean, I'd say the majority of restaurants, you can't pay on credit or debit cards, so you sort of have to have cash on you all the time here.
Yeah, yeah.
And so for me, a bank account which restricted how much cash or how many cash withdrawals you can do also was not really the right thing. So banking's a tricky one here. It's not the best. When I come back to the UK, I'm sort of always like, oh, I can go to any cash machine I want.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the things the UK does better, banking, I think.
Oh,
well,
interesting. I didn't know.
I mean, maybe it's not the most ethical of banking in the UK, I don't know, but it's definitely better for the consumer.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So that was really, really great. I am definitely going to be using Idealo on my long list of presents for the boys for Christmas. It's also their birthdays at the moment, so it'll come in handy. And yeah, I urge everybody listening to, so the website is idealo.com or .co.uk, but the app sounds really good. I'm gonna go download the app and set up some alerts, I think.
Yeah, so that's free to download on iOS or Android, so you'll just find it in the App Store or Play Store. Just search Idealo.
Cool. That's really great. Thank you very much for speaking to me.
Really nice to chat to you.
Yes, and everybody save lots of money on Black Friday, and just make sure it's something that was on your list. You're not just buying
definitely. Yeah. And also just keep an eye out for good deals at other times of the year as well, because you might find that you can save before Black Friday or after Black Friday. It's easy to kind of get swept up in that hype, isn't it?
Brilliant. Thank you. Well, I'm going to stop recording.